Messy Tiff and Big Lou, all that acting like y'all got a perfect marriage, count your days, fat. It's coming to an end. Y'all ready to talk about it? Get the music! Oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back.
I drop a player like it's nothing, it ain't working out. Now no debate up for discussion, bitch, I'm walking out. My time is money, I ain't loving, let you toast it out. Flip my weave and walk it out, look how I just bossed it out. Now come on baby, why you bugging, we can't talk it out. I keeps it moving, I ain't tripping, lost another spouse. I'm just a boss, it's in my blood, no I won't scream or shout. Grabbing my keys.
Cause oh yes, bitches and hoes, I'm back. Back with another video. We here to discuss Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 5, Episode 1, girl. Look, I didn't even know the last season ended. All I know is it just went off. I'm over here Googling, trying to see when the next episode come on. And then next thing you know, I get on my little YouTube TV and see Season 5, Episode 1. How the hell you have a whole new season and we still in the last season? Make it make sense. But anyway, let's get into the review. So the episode opens up right where we left off in the last season. See, that don't even sound right. Whatever. Martell went down there to bring them children to see Mel, and she do her co-hosting for the grand opening of the amphitheater. Now they had a very awkward exchange, very very awkward. You can tell Martell still loves his wife. You can tell that Martell regrets a lot of things. You can tell that Martell wants to be back with her, but his pride and the way he set up on the outside, he ain't gonna say that. So he was like, I brought the kids to support you. That's what I do what I do. And she was like, oh, thank you. Okay. So then he gets up and leaves, as you should. Listen, Martell, it's my weekend. I brought my kids over there to see on my weekend, and I did that because it's a step in the right direction. What direction? Because I don't know if y'all ever going to have a healthy co-parenting situation. That's just my opinion, but he basically feels like it's bittersweet for him. He said it's bittersweet for him, and he mad because his wife is thriving, or ex-wife for that matter is thriving, and he ain't. Then Miss Van come in and was like, yeah, girl, I seen Martell brought the churn. That was nice. Mel gets in her confessional and basically said, my mama really loved Martell, but at the end of the day, she's going to take my back, as she should. But, Miss Van, we don't care. We still trying to see which one of the Scott brothers you was down there creeping with. Let's move on. Maurice and Kimmy are the first to arrive at the doggone couples retreat. Now this is something that Tisha set up, and they're the last ones to make it make sense. So they're the first to arrive. Whitlows, they arrived. Big Lou and Tiff. Why y'all invite Stormy and her husband? Did Mel tell Stormy she better not go? I'm asking questions. But anyway, they sit down, and Maurice's whole thing is he don't need nothing else. He's fixed. He's fixed. Dr. Francis fixed him. He's just there to help out his friends. And I'm like, Maurice. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. But Maurice, you are not fixed, baby. You still have a lot of misogynistic traits you need to, take care of. But it makes sense. Y'all from Huntsville, Alabama. That's how y'all is down there. See, I thought it was just Marceau, but it's you too. Y'all was raised in the same household. It makes sense. But when the Whitlows arrived, Dr. Francis sits down with both couples, and Kimmy was like, well, let me call, Tisha and see where they at. Because they ain't made it there. Yeah. I'm sorry, they ain't made it there yet. So Kimmy calls Tisha on the phone, and Tisha was like, oh, we had a babysitting, a nanny conflict, for the scheduling and whatnot, but we on the way. And it's just giving like, girl, whatever. And then Kimmy was like, all right, because Dr. Francis waiting on you. Now, this prompts Maurice in the background to say, Dr. Francis. He said, now look, I thought we was just doing a couples retreat, just the couples. I didn't know Dr. Francis was going to be there, but you know what? Let me pull up, pop out, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want no smoke. I already committed. It is what it is. Good, Marceau, because when we dive into the Whitlows, I needed you to be present for this. So boom, they on the way. Now, Dr. Francis starts talking to the to the couples, about the exercises and all the stuff that they're going to do. And basically, Miss Tiff gets a phone call, or says she's got to go make a phone call for work, and gets up and leave. Now, Dr. Francis is disrespected by that point. He was like, how this heifer going to come over here and say she committed to getting better with her relationship and then just up and leave? He looked over at Big Lou and was like, Big Lou, You just let her get up and leave, like, you know what I'm saying? And first of all, I don't like that word, let Dr. Francis see. I know how y'all down there in Huntsville, Alabama, view marriage. You know the man is the head. What he said, go whoop de whoop de whoop. That's the struggle Kimmy and Maurice is going through. But in 2022, we don't let nobody do a damn thing. People do what they want to do, first of all. But secondly, I understood what Dr. Francis was saying. He was just like, listen, I get it. She got work to do, but we are here talking about commitment. And that was the word he put up there. He said, listen, she's not committed to this process. And that's an issue. And the fact that you just allowed it is just like, what's going on? Dr. Francis, because he don't play with no messy tiff. That's just what it is. It's just what it is. So she goes off to make her phone call. Big Lou go check on her after that because he tells Dr. Francis, you can go tell her yourself. I'm gonna have her come back. He go back there to check on her. She ain't even on the damn phone. Talking about she just got off the phone. Was you on FaceTime with your man on the side? Inquiring minds want to know messy tips. But anyway, so yeah, he go in there and was like, look, letting you know when you go back in there, Dr. Francis ain't happy about this. He gonna ask you about it and he gonna confront you, fat. You got to be ready. And her whole thing is what is the other Scots here? Because if the other Scots not here, then I don't understand. Why you worry about the other Scots? Good point, but why you worry about the other Scots? You here. That's all that matters. And you disrespected that man by just jumping up going to take a so-called work phone call. That ain't how that go. But anyway, when the Scots arrived late as hell, Tisha gets off the call crying. Well, she wasn't crying. She looked upset. And Dr. Francis noticed it right away. And he was just like, dang, something must be wrong. We find out that Tisha's good friend died. And Tisha was over there wiping no tears. She had her tissue and no tears. Not only on the porch, but even in the doggone confessional. It was Tisha with no tears. No tears Tisha is what I saw. Now, I'm not saying she ain't have a good friend that passed, but what I'm saying is the reaction was just given, I need a scene or a reason, you know. But at the end of the day, your friend passing, bless the dead, ain't had nothing to do with why y'all was late. So we don't want to hear it, we don't want to see it, and we don't want to find it. Marceau over there consoling his wife. This is a healthy distraction. Marceau, please, let's move on. Now, Martell and his mama go pick up the kids on the last day of school. Now, he bringing his mama, and this is where we find out that Martell mama, Miss Marlene, I believe her name is, she is the reason why Martell is the bitch-ass nigga that he is. Say what I said. She upholds him in his bull. She tells him, like, in Martell's eyes, or in her eyes, Martell can't do nothing wrong. Nothing wrong, because they on the way over there to go get him. And Martell was like, you know, I want my mom and Mel to talk. They had a little rough year back in 2021. I guess Marlene said something on social media, but we all see that she basically told Mel that basically, you know, you stressing my son out. Girl, look, let me tell you something. My ex-husband mama was like that. And I done cursed that lady out so many times. God bless the dead. I don't like that. She Martell can't do no wrong. And women like that from that generation, especially, it's still an issue now, but it was worse in that generation. That generation of women, y'all are the reason we got all the bitch ass niggas we got. And I don't like it. I don't like it for us. I don't like it for y'all. And y'all passing this tradition down to your daughters. We got to stop that now. We got to stop it. I don't like this. This is not going good for me. I don't like it. Martell wants y'all to get back together and make it cool, but at the end of the day, the mama saying, I ain't gonna say nothing negative to her. You know, at the end of the day, that's still my grandchildren's mother. I'm gonna keep it cordial, keep it cute. You know, when I'm around her, but I felt some type of way how she went off on me or whatever on social media. The kids get in the car, and the only thing I noticed outside of them being beautiful children was that they all call him sir. They say, yes, sir. That's some old good country raising, girl. If only your daddy was raised like that. Let's move on. We move to the next scene. Dr. Francis said he's not going to address Marceau and Tisha being late because, you know, they had a little, death in the friendship family. Not now, at least. But he is going to confront Tiff, as you should. So he gets up there, and he starts talking about, what happened? You just up and left. And she was like, that's a conversation my husband and I had together. He already knew that I was going to take a phone call. We're good. Blah, 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 blah. So Dr. Francis feels like you're not taking this process seriously. You got to commit. You committed here, so you can't commit there. But her whole thing is, I can commit there and I can commit here. False fat. Wait, I can give 100% at work and I can give 100% at home. Like Kimmy said, how you going to give 100 over here and 100 over there? It's only 100. You can't give two if it's only one. Make it make sense. But you know, it's baffling Kimmy and her homegirls. Because Kimmy like, wait, pause. You had a lot to say about Marceau and his marriage. But sir, you over here acting like you can't take no constructive criticism from a man who has a degree and has been married for damn near 40 some years. Make it make sense. That's because both of them are the same. They don't want nobody to tell them nothing. Girl, look. If I was Dr. Francis, I would have told him get out. Say what I said. But anyway, Dr. Francis offered up or told them about this game. He introduced the game. And basically, they're going to tie their legs together by the ankle. And they're going to walk for 15 minutes. Now, in my mind, I'm going, this should be interesting. Because this is them walking with the legs together right now. Now, okay. They outside walking. Dr. Francis and his wife is up there watching them. And listen, Tisha and Marceau is running. They haven't, look, they ain't missed a stride like a dog. Like they walking like a dog, you hear me? Kimmy and Marceau is struggling. Kimmy is like, listen, you're holding me too tight. What you doing? Blah, blah. They going at it, beef out. Big Lou and Tiff just said pick me up and Big Lou picked her up. Basically, you could tell whatever Tiff said goes. Now, something struck me. Tisha got into her confessional and was like, you know, I feel like the reason we did so well or whatever was because we've been married the longest, so we have more experience and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like that came off as if y'all have the better relationship or the more successful relationship, and that's false. Listen, I will give Tisha and Marceau this. I feel, in my opinion, the reason they were able to be so much in sync is because they know each other better. They've been together for 16 years, or at least married, probably together longer than that. They already know, everybody got their roles and their positions. Everybody know what's going on. Tisha's submissive, he's the leader. Everybody know that. They know that. So when it's time to play this game, it's nothing. Because she already knows her role and he already knows his. The issue with these other two couples is they don't. That's the only reason it was so horrible. Because people don't understand how the emotional and mental thing plays physically. Or how it plays out physically. That's my opinion. But, yeah, Maurice and Kimmy is over there struggling, baby. Kimmy was like, well, you're holding me too tight. Then he let her go. Then they can't struggle. He was like, well, you lead. And then she trying to lead and they ain't making it. Girl, Maurice, we knew you had issues. We started figuring that out, last season? Because you were so sweet and calm and nice. And we was like, oh, Maurice, the nice brother. He's so cool. He's so this, that, and the third. And then we find out you just as misogynistic as your brother. Miss Van, why was you messing with one of the doggone brothers, the Scott brothers? Was he having you out there like that too? We want to know. I'm sorry, I'm just asking. But anyway, they get back into the doggone place. And basically, they're getting ready for dinner. Now, Kimmy and Maurice is having a conversation. And Kimmy was like, you know, I feel like you let me go. And that's what was one of the reasons why we weren't successful. And Maurice is just like, no, like you said this was wrong, so I just let you go. And, you know, it's just like, y'all have a lot to figure out. Listen, at the end of the day, Kimmy and Maurice, they are a good couple, but they're both alphas, to be completely honest. Because think about it. Kimmy been a single woman for how long before she got with Maurice? How long? She leads. She knows how to take, and all the businesses and jobs that girl got. Y'all are like the same on paper, if it makes sense. So I think y'all establishing y'all relationship roles, y'all gender roles, not even gender roles, but just y'all relationship roles and y'all roles in y'all marriage. That's a struggle for y'all. And I feel like a lot of time Kimmy just conform because she don't want no smoke. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of things she don't be on board with. Like, just period. I think most things Kimmy is on the I'm gonna pick my battle type of time. You know what I'm saying? But that's causing you more strife, Kimmy, if you ask me, and it's creating havoc in the marriage. I ain't Dr. Francis, but I'm just saying. So, Dr. Francis said he saw when Big Lou picked up Tiff after she asked, he said, but I don't know if he did it because he wanted to or because she told him. Because she told him. Dr. Francis, stop acting crazy. Anyway, he let them know when they get back inside and was like, look, the whole point of the exercise was to show or display the marriage, right? So the two legs that are tied together is the marriage. That's y'all. That's you and him. That's y'all together. But the legs on the outside that were free, that's the other influences that end up deterring the leg in the middle or the marriage. Does that make sense? And so that was the whole purpose of that marriage. But we're going to learn more and talk more about it at dinner. Let's move on. Marcel's in the back telling Tisha she didn't know this was a counseling trip, but he said it's cool. He gonna say, you know what I'm saying? We ain't tripping. We go to dinner. All right. We get down there to the dinner table, and normally I sit at the dinner table, but I just thought this was cuter. But we get down there at the dinner table, and Dr. Francis further discusses the rope challenge. And Marceau basically gets up there, me and Tisha, we did well, because I already know loving your wife and being married is a partnership, and you're going to sacrifice some stuff. I really know all the risks. That's why it worked so well for us. And then Tisha asks, basically, what's her name? Was it Tisha? Yeah, Tisha brought up something about Messy Tiff wanting more kids. And she was like, oh, Dr. Francis, I'm glad she said that. So, yeah, myself and my husband, I want to have kids. I have another kid. My kid is older. His kid is older. And we're looking for having another kid. But I don't know if Big Lou wants to have one. But if he doesn't, then I don't want to do it. But I really want to have more kids, because that's going to work out good for us, And then Marceau jumps in and was like, pause. How you gonna bring kids into a marriage or to an institution or to a situation where it ain't even good right now? Y'all in chaos. You working like crazy. How you gonna have a kid with that? And she was like, oh, I kind of thrive in chaos, so it's gonna work out. What? Make it make sense, Messy Tiff. Well, then Dr. Francis was like psychoanalyzing her as she was saying this. So he asked her a little bit about her background. So he finds out that she was adopted since birth. Both her mama and daddy was crackheads, a white one and a black one. He also finds out that she was divorced before, and then she said her new parents, or the parents that adopted her, they weren't available. I don't know if it was like emotionally or physically, I can't remember, but they weren't available. Dr. Francis was like, that's 3 losses you've taken in your life. And that could be why you want to have a kid. You want to have a kid to fill a void. You're afraid of losing again. And you feel like a kid is going to be the one, or to be the thing, the one sure thing that's going to be there for the rest of your life. That's probably what it is. It causes Tiff to go into tears. She said, I ain't never had nobody tell me it was a loss. Girl, yeah, that's a loss. What, you thought it was a win? Girl, please. But yeah, that's why you want another child, Fed. And Big Lou feel like, look, them children getting grown. We can have the house to ourselves. We could be smashing all over the house, doing all type of nasty stuff. And you trying to bring a baby on board? The fuck? And now Marceau, because Marceau is loving this. Marceau was like, well, Big Lou, how you think it's going to work out with y'all sex life if y'all barely getting something now? How you think it's going to work out with your sex life when, she bring that baby around? And he was like, yeah, man, I already know I ain't going to be able to get a lot of, whatever, sloppy toppy or whatever, because I barely get it now, but it is what it is. Par for the course. So now, Dr. Francis is psychoanalyzing him and was just like, see, you one of them philosopher-ass niggas. Yeah, I know what the type of dude you is. You one of them, you read a lot of philosophy. See, what you do is, you make things so unpersonal so that you don't have to face any type of emotion or any type of what do you want to say? How do I want to say? You don't have to face any type of you don't want people to know how you really feel, basically. So what you do is you take yourself personally out of everything and you respond that way. That way you won't be held accountable emotionally. Period. Now this prompts Kimmy to jump in and was just like, yeah. Cause y'all be sitting over there saying y'all all transparent and whatnot, but apparently parent must have been gone out of the trance because we don't know nothing about you. And listen, I'm gonna stop her when she start lying. Girl, what y'all know about Messy Tiff and her husband, other than the fact that they both been divorced? Girl, I don't even know the children name, and they've been on the show a couple of times. Girl, we don't know nothing about what's going on with Messy Tiff and her husband. I ain't gonna lie, most of us don't care, but since we here talking about it, we don't know nothing about what the hell y'all got going on, and it's upsetting me and my homegirls. See what I said? Now, Big Lou, that's not true. And like Dr. Francis said, of course you're going to disagree. Absolutely. Fat, you think I just started this? I've been doing this 25, 30 years. Fat, I knew you was going to disagree. But Big Lou was like, no, I'm very transparent. I tell everybody everything. I don't have nothing to hide from nobody. I don't understand the big deal. Woo. And Dr. Francis was like, man, Cap. Basically, that's what he did. He said he called Cap, and he said, you want people to believe your marriage and your relationship is something it ain't. I'm going to stop him when he start lying again. Now, Big Lou over there in his feelings some type of way, talking about, wait, what you mean? And then Bessie said, well, what are you trying to say? What you mean? He said what he said, Fat. Like Dr. Francis said, even from the game earlier. He said when they discovered that there was a game, he said they played a game of getting out of the game, of not playing the game. That's what he said. So basically what he's saying is when y'all discovered the leg walk challenge, y'all basically went into a whole nother game to take yourself personally out of the game. I.e., pick me up, Lou. All right. Girl, that was the end of the doggone episode, girl. Listen, let me tell you something. Big Lou and Messy Tiff, y'all done been on here, what, 2 seasons? It's time we get into the tea. And I hope Carlos King, and I know Carlos King because he, I don't know him, but I feel like he's going to dig into that because the people been saying, get him out of here if you're not going to talk about nothing. That's what the people been saying. So I feel like Carlos King is, he about to pop it off. As you should. Girl, drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about Messy Lou, Big Lou and Messy Tiff, girl, and Mel and her, what's her name? Speaking of, Mel goes over there to see Stormy. Let me throw this little bit in. And Stormy over there playing with her in her zen room, her sound bowls or whatever the hell it is, acting like she been doing this for years and years. And turns out the girl ain't even know the name of the doggone bowls. Girl, bye. Then on top of that, she asked Mel about, how things going with Mel and Martell. And she was like, yeah, he bought the kids by woo. She was like, but I'm in this place right now when it pertains to his mama. That's his mama. I'm protecting my peace and my zen. And so for that, if she gotta be a casualty of war, she gotta be a casualty of war. If I got a stiff arm and put her over there, it is what it is. That's his mama, not mine. Listen, I ain't even mad at you, Mel. Because Miss Marlene sounds toxic. She's one of them toxic old woman. A toxic old Betty Wright of having a piece of man is better than having no man at all woman. After the pain and all the things I say, I still can't explain. Oh, I still love you like I do, but I do, yes I do, still love you after the pain. Yeah, that's Miss Marlene. She after the pain. But like Mel said, she went up there telling people, she was all on the TV saying that she was working my son to death. They even did a flashback set, working my son to death, got him over there slaving and scratching, and Mel just laid there and ain't do nothing. And like Mel said, well, if that was the case, how is it that I'm the one thriving and your son is over there struggling? It ain't rhetorical. Drop down in the comments and let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, girl. I got to go because my game is on. But I'll see you hoes later. Bye.
Mr. Carroll, how you give the voodoo dog time to talk? I don't get no fucking time to talk.
Who the voodoo doll is?
The nigga you just had up here.